Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway in the final game of a busy Sunday. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
11. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
4th down, out comes the punter, Drew Chrisman. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 27. It'll be a 39-yard punt, give him a good 10 yards on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Jackson on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete on the deep ball. These two teams met in Cincinnati earlier in the year with the Bengals coming out on top. So a win here in Cincinnati would give them the season sweep 2-zip. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. To throw is Jackson. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it, incomplete.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
Dobbins. Touchdown, Baltimore. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group, and sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third.
11.
Now it's Burrow. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. He's got room at the 30. Now he's loose down the left sideline. A big play there for Cincinnati. 56 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here we go. Get in the huddle. Stop.
They come with a jet sweep here as Burrow just taps that forward. And he is going to lose yardage here. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
11 mighty.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
First catch there for OBJ, and that good for a 1st down. Jackson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
7-7, our score after 1. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And he's taken down inside the 30. He finds his man, complete. That's Flowers. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And some space here. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Ravens have taken the lead. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. From the 10. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they'll be inside the red zone with the ball at the 16-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Ravens go up by 2 touchdowns. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw caught by Higgins. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The Bengals at 15-1 on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
3rd and 2, now Burrow. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
They'll run with Mixon and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the offense will recover, but it won't make much difference here. This will still be a turnover on downs. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. From the 44, Jackson caught left side. It's Beckham. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Odell Beckham, 44 yards. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns in 21. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side. And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it, but I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because the reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up, and they gave the touchdown that was just given up. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. McPherson on for the point after. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. But right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout. An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to see all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction? Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jackson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops. Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 41-yard line. And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Jackson now off the bootleg. In trouble, and he's taken down. There for the sack, B.J. Hill. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. They'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Throwing is Jackson. That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. Rashad Bateman in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens will extend their lead here just before halftime. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining and not much time, we'll see how they play this. Now Burrow on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
11. Stop.
Final play of the half for Burrow and company. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaughan. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. They go play action with Jackson. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. An option handoff here to Dobbins. Room here to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 126 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. Touchdown! Mark Andrews, 26 yards. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
A
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Again, it's Burrow on 2nd and 10. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now it's Jackson. He's got it. And in for the Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Ravens have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
On 3rd and 1, Burrow. Got a man, it's Chase, he completes it. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase, 66 yards. And the Bengals are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a first down.
Jackson firing quickly out wide for Bateman.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
A give, Dobbins trying the right side. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
Play action. Now Jackson.
That is caught. Rashad Bateman.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 30 yards.
They'll run with Dobbins.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. Now, I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
So crisis averted, but now facing 3rd and goal.
They go play action now. Jackson. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins
from 8 yards out.
And the Ravens are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Burrow bats it forward. It's a jet sweep.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Burrow. He's going to float this one deep right side.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play.
but he could not pull it in.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. But he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And that will force a turnover on downs. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Second time he's fumbled in this game. Fortunate for him, this one goes out of bounds.
And the key for him now is how much equity have you built up with your coaching staff? How much equity have you built up with your team to continue to get opportunities?
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. He's at the 40. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. I love plays like that. Defensive lineman holding football. It's like a kid who stole a cookie from the cookie jar, and then he's just fleeing the scene of the crime.
And all he's doing in his mind, reliving his days when he was young, probably played fullback on his high school team. Always wanted to
try to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. Oh, they try a lateral on the return, and now the ball's loose. Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
And what do you think, partner? A little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight. What they're hoping now is to build a little momentum off of it and give them a more genuine reason to cheer down the road.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Jackson. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
He's got room at the 30. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Certainly worth noting he's now one catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And his throw here is incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Able to locate Andrews here on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
To throw again is Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part, he's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Odell Beckham, his second touchdown of the night. And the Ravens are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes the return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
On 1, right?
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Justin Madubuike coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
And it's fielded at the 34. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. He finds his man complete. That's Flowers. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. Let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
141 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Tucker now to add the point after. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll get this up to about the 40.
Number 28, Joe Mixon with the ball.
Here we go.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line.
Here we go.
Brings up third down.